Welcome back, everybody. Driver53 here, and today we are playing Car Mechanic Simulator 2021 for PlayStation 5. Now, this game also works for PlayStation 4, and what we've got is our first kind of career car. It's an order that we had, and if you haven't checked out the first video that we did, it shows how to get started on the game and takes you around the whole garage, outside and inside, and shows you all the different things that we can do here in the garage. But what we want to do now is go ahead and get started on this order, and let's give you a little bit of a refresher of exactly what we need to do to this vehicle. So we're going to hit triangle here, and we're going to go up to car status, and we can see that we've got quite a list of items that we need to do here. We need to check the brakes, we need to check the fuel pump, we need to do an oil change on this car, we need to change the filter, and we need to put 4 new tires on it. And also right here you can see that we have to change the brake fluid, change the power steering fluid, and refill the windshield washer fluid. So the first thing that I want to do, since the vehicle is already up in the air, is I want to grab this oil pan right here, or the oil drain. So I'm going to hit X, and then I'm going to hit up on my left joystick and to move equipment, and I'm going to come down here to car lift A. Now you can see these other ones are locked out right now because we just don't have them available to us. So car lift A, and boom, there you go, it's over there now. So when it's over here, you hit X, and down here, use equipment, you can see the oil draining out. Perfect. Once it's done, you're going to go to move equipment and put it back in its place. And there it is, right there. So perfect. So the next thing I want to do is I want to actually lower this car down. I want to take care of some of the easier things first. So we're going to bring it back down to so I can get inside the engine bay. So we've got that drained. We're going to pop this up. And what I want to do is actually, we need to drain the brake fluid, right, and replace it. So I'm going to work on part. As you can see down at the bottom, it says X, work on part. And since I've got the brake booster highlighted right now, that means it has a yellow border around the whole thing. When I hit X, it's going to take me into this section right here. Now, if I hit triangle, and then I come down here to additional tools, hit X on that, you can see the right here, drain tool. Boom. Now, all I have to do is hit X, and this machine comes up and takes it all out. Perfect. Now, how do I put it back in? Well, I'm going to hit triangle again. I'm going to go down here to part unmount. Okay, I'm going to go up to the cap, and I hold X, and it takes it off, and now I've got fluid that I can put in here. All I have to do now is hold X, and it's going to fill it up for me. Whenever the can levels back off, that means I'm full enough. There we go. Hit circle, and now we are done. Now, it did charge me for some of that. You can see that my credits have went down for that fluid that I put in there. So let me show you another trick. If you need to get around to another part of the vehicle, you can zoom out by holding L2, and you can come over here to your windshield washer reservoir. We know that we need to do something with this, correct? And we just need to fill it. So we're going to, same thing on the cap, hold X, and it's going to fill it up. And you're holding X the entire time you have this jug up in this position. Otherwise, if you stop, it'll level back out. So it was already full. I'll show you on the other one. Alright, so it charged me $13 for that one right there. Now I'm going to zoom out here again, and I know that I have power steering reservoir. Alright, so I'm going to go right here, and as we can see, it's pretty low. This should be red right in here. So what I'm going to do, hold triangle, additional tools, go to drain tool, because we know that we need to take it out. I'm going to hold X. You can see my icon there. Did the circle in green. Alright, now it's empty. So what do I need to do again? Go to part unmount, come up to the cap, hold it. It's going to take it off, and we're going to dump in our fluid. As you can see, that red fluid is now going inside. Whenever it gets to max, it'll level out. There we go. And boom, we're done. $14 for that. Holy cow. Alright, so that is everything inside here. Perfect. So let's back out, and now we're out here at the main part of the car. Alright, so there's nothing. Well, I need to do an air filter, don't I? Yes. So let's come right here. We're going to select the engine now that it's highlighted. Boom. And we're going to come up here to this part that is green. Now, if I tried to remove this filter just by itself, you can see that there's a red component above it. That means that that component needs to be removed first. And since this one is green and there's no red around it, I know I can take this off. So what I'm going to do is hit circle, or hit X, and you can see that it was doing the circle. Now there's a bolt right here that I need to remove. So I'm going to hold X. It's going to unscrew it and take it out. Now you can see that the filter is all green. I don't have any red anywhere else. So whenever I do this, Boom. There we go. Now, I need to go into my inventory really quickly. And I need to take this part right here and add it to my shopping list. At the very bottom, you can see Add Shopping List, and that's the big center button that you have on your controller. So if we hit that, you can see up the top, Added to List. Perfect. So let's come out of this, and I'm going to go over here now to the store. So this is your shop, and what we want are car parts, the main shop right here. Other things are going to be available in other areas. This one here, we definitely want to go to this. It's a normal vehicle. So we know that we have an air filter, but do we know what kind of an air filter? Because there's what? Multiple ones, 2, 4, 6, 8 different ones here. Now you might be able to guess and figure out exactly which one it is. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to open my shopping list, and I'm going to hit options, and I can see round air filter 2 carb. Okay, perfect. None of those right there say that. Okay, well, how do I get to it? Well, I can go all the way across, or I can do a search. You can do a search right here and type in round if you'd like to. Right here, and then do that. And now I can see right here, round air filter 2 carb. But let me show you another way to do this. We're going to go back into search. We are actually going to clear this all the way out. Okay, so we're back here. If I open up my shopping list, and you see how this right now is highlighted on a round air filter 2 carb. Okay, if I hit X right now, it shows me exactly that component. A lot easier than having to search for it and hope you have the right one. This one tells you the exact one that you need. How do you purchase it? You're going to hit X, and you can see the very top line here is amount. You can get, I believe it's up to, well, let's find out. Wow, they've increased the number of items that you can get here. All right, we don't need that many. 50, we definitely don't need that. So I'm just going to back out of here. We're just going to get 1, all right? So there we go, perfect. Now, what you're going to do, come back over to your vehicle. Now, you're going to highlight your engine again, but it's not showing that you need to put anything back on. What you need to do is hit circle, and then come over here to part mount. When you do that, now it's going to highlight your filter. Press X, it's going to do the circle. Now you can select which one of these you want. Every component that's exactly the same match to this that is in your inventory is going to show up here, and it's going to show you the percentage. So say you have a order that says I need everything above 65%. Well, if you have a 75% filter, you can use that instead of having to go buy a new one. So hang on to some of your parts that are a little bit higher on the life of them. And here you can see we've got this too. So it's at 44%, but it's going to work. It's not a bad part. It's not showing up red. So we are good to go. So now we've completed this task. How do I know that? I'm going to hit triangle, and we're going to go up here and look at car status. So now when I come right here, it says change the brake fluid, change power steering fluid, and refill windshield washer fluid. We did that a while ago. Perfect. Now right here, this is all the big list of items that we needed, and it says round air filter, and it's got a green check mark, which means we are good to go. So now what I need to do is I need to check the fuel pump. We're going to take off the oil filter, and we're going to look at the brakes and the tires. The brakes and tires we'll do all at the same time. So let's take this thing, put it up in the air, and we're going to start looking at the 2 filters, the fuel filter and the oil filter. Alright, so we're going to come underneath right here, and the oil filter on this one should be, yes, right over here. Alright, so it's not going to let me select the engine right now, it's only the suspension. So I'm going to hit X, but then if I bring the indicator right over here, see how it says engine block? Boom, I can select that, and now I can get right here on my oil filter. Now, a really interesting thing here that I can do, instead of having to go into my inventory to put a component into my shopping list, I can just hit down on the D-pad right now, and if you look at the top, it says added to list. Now I know exactly what it is, so I don't need to go back into my inventory and try and find it. While it's still on the vehicle, I can go ahead and put it into my shopping list. So there we go, there's that one. So I'm going to come out, and now we're going to go to the rear of the car. Right here, we went ahead and selected chassis. Now I want to go fuel tank. What I want to do is rotate my camera around because I need to be up here on the top for the fuel pump. So I'm going to undo it. As we can see, it was at 17%. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is replace these 2 filters really quickly so I don't forget them, and then we'll get started on the brakes and the tires. So come back over here. Now, all I need to do is open up my shopping list again, and you can see right here that if I want to delete this item from the list, all I have to do is hit triangle. Now this one is the oil filter that I need. What I'm going to do is select X, boom, it's right there. X again, we're going to buy it. There we go, perfect. Now, what I need to do is if I'm in search, it now has quotations around it because I pulled it directly from my shopping list. So I need to delete this, hit search again, everything's going to come back up. And what I need to do now is search for a fuel pump. So we're going to do a search and we're going to type in fuel. You can see right up here, boom, there it is. And there we go. So fuel pump, there's only one. So I knew already from playing the previous game and knowing that there was no extra things in parentheses here, this is the only one that I need. So 120 credits, boom, there we go. All right, so now let's go replace these two items. So right here, once again, I'm going to select this, and I need to go into part mount mode, and you can see that my filter right here is like a ghost looking, so it means that it's ready for me to install it. So we're going to select the one that's at 100%. There we go, perfect. I'm going to rotate the camera and watch this. I want to come back here and select drive or muffler. Then I'm going to come back here and select leaf spring. And this way I don't have to exit out. I can stay in this mode the whole time. Now, fuel pump, select the good one. There we go. All right, now that task is done. So what I can do now is go ahead and get started on the brakes and the tires. And I need to remove all four because all four tires need replaced. So we're just going to come up to a tire right here, hit X, and it's going to bring us into the mode of disassembly. All right, so hold my X, you can see that it's going around. All right, so there's 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh, this one seems to be stuck. Well, you hit triangle, it's going to spray some lubricant on it, and now you can get it off. Perfect. So as you can see now, we've got calipers, we've got brake pads. Really quickly, let's go ahead and take a look again at how many brake pads it said. So it said 2 brake pads and no rotors. All right, so 2 of these brake pads and none of the calipers are bad. So let's go ahead and remove the calipers. Oh, that one's stuck too, so we got to use some lubricant. There we go. All right, and then we're going to take the brake pad off. So there we go. We know that this caliper is good, so we're going to rotate the camera around. I'm going to go over here to the other side. And we're going to do the same process on all 4. So there's 1. Got a loose one here. Perfect. So we'll keep going here with 4. Now, as you go along with this, you're going to start realizing which ones of these are bad and which ones are good. For right now, what we're doing, we're removing all 4 just because I'm not 100% sure exactly which one. But as you go through time, you will notice that more and more you'll be able to tell which one is bad and which one is still good. So this is really awesome to have all these stuck nuts or lug nuts or any other type of nut here on these components. This is not something that was existing in Car Mechanic Simulator 18. All right, so back here we actually have drums. So that's really, really interesting. It means we don't have calipers or pads. So I don't need to take those off back here because they don't exist. So we're going to take this 4th one off right here. All right, there's 2, 3, 4, a little bit of lubricant, and number 5. Perfect. All right, so now we are done. So we had 2 brake pads is what we had that we needed to replace here, correct? Let's go back over here one more time and make sure. And I do this quite often. Yes, so 2 brake pads is all that we need to do here. And then we're going to have standard tires. And I'll show you how to get the standard tires here in a minute once we break them apart. So right here, we're going to go into brakes, but you have a search on right now. All right, so you need to go back into your search and actually delete this. And then R2, boom, there you go. And we're going over here to brake pads. We need 2 sets. There we go for 80 credits. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and put these back on really quickly so that I'm not having to worry about it whenever we get done with the tires. So everything is ready to go and we can just put the tires right back up. All right, so pads, perfect. And we're going to put the calipers on now too. Now, there is another strategy that you can play to this game where you replace some of these other components that are under what the customer required. but the customer didn't specifically ask for it, so I don't know. I don't know if this game here, if the customer has to pay for it, or if you're eating the cost because you went outside of the contract or the order. So now that we have all 4 tires off, all right, and we got everything else buttoned back up, what we need to do now is use this machine right here, a tire changer. So what I'm going to do is hit use, and I want to go to the top, and it says separate parts. When I click on it, I now have all the sets of wheels and tire combos that are attached to each other displaying at the bottom. So the first one that I want to do here is a basic Remo 1. It's a 215/75 R15. That is how you read a tire size, and we'll show you that again here whenever we order the new ones. What we're going to do now is hit X, and it's going to do its magic. All right, so perfect. So now you hit X again while you're on it, and it says take parts. All right, so now I'm going to put another one on here, and while it's doing that, I want to look at my inventory. Well, I get to my inventory by hitting triangle and then going here to inventory, and I can see that I have a tire right there, 215/75 R15. I want to add this to my shopping list because I want to make sure I get the exact same tire again. So we're going to come back over here, take this one off. We're going to put a new one on. There we go. And we're going to do this one more time. It's a really interesting animation. All right, take it off. Boom. Put it back on. All right, so while it's doing that, I'm going to run back over here to my computer. And I'm going to clear out. All right, perfect. So we don't have anything in the search, but I'm not going to be able to get my tires here. So I need to hit triangle to go back to this main screen right here. And I need to go to tires and tires, the tire shop. So what I have now is a lot of different options for tires. And they get really, really confusing. But what I want to do is open my shopping list right here. And I can see that I have this standard tire 215/75 R15. So I'm going to hit X, boom, there we go. Perfect. When I click on it, it's going to make me choose the size. Well, it's saying 12. Well, I know that's not right. So let me show you how you read a tire size. We're going to back out, and I'm going to go back into my shopping list. So what you have is a 215. That's the width. A 75 is the height of the tire from the rim to the outside tread, and then an R15, or the R is the speed rating, and then a 15 is going to be the size of the rim. So we saw the very first thing you need to know is the 15. Okay, so we're going to select that first. So if we get out of this, come here. All right, so 15. Now we know that we need a 215. So we're going to come across right there, and then this needs to be a 75. So you had a 215, 75, 15. The R only comes in performance tires and things like that. If you don't have an option for it right here, just assume it's an R. Now, we need 4 of them. Boom. It's going to be 680 credits. I think it's going to be all right. We still got a little bit over 9,000 left. All right, so the rims didn't need replaced, just the tires. As we come back over here, we're going to see that this tire is now done. And this is our last one that we had. Because if we try and put any more separate parts on there, you don't have the necessary parts. Perfect. Well, now I need to put them together. So I'm going to come right here to install. There we go. We're going to select the basic rim. And we're going to select one of these tires, brand new ones. Now, one more time, confirm that you've got a 215/75 R15 in the new, and the older tire was a 215/75 R15. So, absolutely perfect. We are good to go there. Now it's going to do its thing. So let's go through and assemble all 4 of these together, and then we'll go over to the wheel balancer, and I'll show you what to do over there. Last tire here, we're going to take it off now. There we go. Now we're going to come over here. Wheel balancer. What you're going to do is you're going to balance your tire. So there you go. We want to just select this first one right here. It's going to close. And what you need to do is actually move your wheel so that the green part is inside that arrow. And you're going to hit X. So whenever you come around and you get it right there, boom, there you go. So now we're going to take it off. and you take right there. Cool. Next one. Alright, so we're going to rotate it around. As soon as you get it there, hit your X, rotate it X, rotate it X, and you're done. So it can be pretty quick. Alright, one more. Sometimes it's only 2 that you need to do. Alright. There we go. Take it off. Last one. See, like this one here is only 2. So it was a pretty good tire to start with. Alright, and take it off. So now we're going to go back over here to the vehicle. We're going to go back into part mount mode. And we know that since we have everything else on the car, all we need to do is mount it. And we're going to select the combo and just start hitting X, and it's going to go ahead and tighten down the lug nuts for us. And this is going to be number 1. So we're going to zoom around away a little bit, and I'm going to go right here, select this other one, come around like this, and here we go. Select it. Alright, so if you have a vehicle that has different size tires on the front to back, you really need to pay attention to what came off the back and what came off the front, because you will get a message that you have the incorrect tire size on the front or the back, because it could be mix matched. Alright, we're going to go over here to the other one, and I really like how it highlights it for you. That way you can see exactly the component that you're working on. Alright, so last tire here. There we go. So we're going to get out of that. You can see that all of them are done now. So now we need to lower this down. And we have one more job that we need to do. And that is going to be putting oil in the engine. It's the last thing. So we're going to select here. We're going to take this off. We're going to put oil in it. Should take 5 quarts in this car. Maybe a little bit more. Alright, there we go. Close. Alright, so now that should be everything on the car. Let's close the hood. We're going to go ahead and take this, lower it all the way down, take it out. Boom, there we go. Alright, so to confirm, we're going to hit triangle. We're going to go up here to car status. Now you can see that on the right hand side, everything is in green. If I come down to change oil, it's green, and other tasks is green. At the bottom, you can see finish order. Let's see what happens whenever we select finish order. We got $2,100 and we got 99 points of experience. Really, really awesome. So I'm going to go out here. I've got a couple more cars sitting out here. I want to go ahead and bring one of these in for a contract, or for another job. So this one right here, we're going to go ahead and move this car in right here to car lift A. Perfect. So what do we need to do? Well, this car needs a lot of brake work, and that looks like it. So this one's going to be a little bit more complicated to get in there and do a lot of the stuff. So we're going to go ahead and save this one. And what are you going to see in the next video? Well, you're going to be replacing the ABS module and an ABS pump. We're going to be checking out the brakes, making sure that they're okay. And yeah, we'll probably get to that other green car that's out there too. And hopefully we'll start working our way around and getting to use a few more of the tools. Like I said, I've got a trick, not really a trick, but it's another great way of being able to earn some extra experience as you're doing some of these orders. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you would. If you want to be kept up to date on everything happening here in the garage on Car Mechanic Simulator 2021, consider hitting that subscribe button. And if you do, hit the notification bell too. Have a great day, night, evening, everybody. Until next time, this is Driver 53, signing off.